So, good morning. Saturday is here. Saturday is a holiday. I should relax. I should relax unconsciously and habitually because the entire week I have been busy. Why I have been busy? Seeking a pleasure, peace, and happiness outside. So, at least Saturdays and Sundays, weekends are good to relax. So, how to relax? Relax unconsciously, habitually. Going back to the same old stuff, seeking the same thing again and again. That is the meaning of our relaxation. That is the meaning of our relaxation. But when we talk of the Eastern wisdom, we say relaxation is withdrawal of the mind that is scattered outside. Why to withdraw the mind that is scattered outside? Because the mind is scattered outside, because the mind is scattered outside only to seek happiness. I'm just summarizing today so that next week we will start with a new metaphor that will help us to. So I started with the relaxation. So for me, relaxation on the weekend, I will relax. But what does it mean by relaxation? That I will not do anything. But why I don't want to do anything that I have been doing on the weekdays? So it means what I have been doing on the weekdays is causing me the stress. That is why I don't want to do anything on the weekend so that I can relax. But can I live without action? So my action is to remain lazy, wake up around noon, but today you have woke up at 8. That's why I don't give any lesson on Sundays. You have a liberty to do that. You see that these thoughts, guided by the different patterns of action in our life, puts me into the unconscious journey. And the moment the mind lives unconsciously, habitually, impulsively, we cannot discover that real self. Now, see that how I proceed further. We cannot discover the real self. What do you mean? I am the real self. So, what you are the real self? No. The real self and the false self are two different entities. Now you see that how Eastern wisdom works. So the master says that the real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. It is pure consciousness. It is existence, consciousness, absolute. But I don't experience that in my daily life. Oh, you don't experience. That is your false self. Not everyone can easily understand what is the false self. So now you see, they are also the metaphors. So we say because the false self consists of three bodies: the physical, subtle, and the causal bodies. That is one metaphor. The physical body, we already know. And then we say the subtle body pertains to the mind, memory, intellect, and ego. But from where these thoughts and the past impression returns in my life. why I behave the way I have been behaving for so many years. So we use that metaphor. It is because of your causal body. No, I don't understand. So we go little deeper. Are you scared of birth and death? Okay. Yes, I'm scared of birth and death. No. Do you know? Do you have a chance? Do you have a liberty to be born? No. So, do you have a chance and liberty to die on a particular day? Barring those crazy people who claim that they commit suicide. We don't have that. So, the physical body has two issues, two challenges, the birth and the death. So, there is a fear. What about the energy? Hunger and thirst. My master used to give these metaphors in a very jokingly manner. So that energy, I need an energy. So lack of that energy is hunger and thirst. So first metaphor, we started with the physical, subtle, and the causal bodies. So we don't understand. Why we don't understand? Because we are not the highest level of a seeker. We are still a seeker. How to become that seeker? Understand. So the master says, go on understanding. Master says that once we talk of the real self, we will help you to reach to that state of the real self. So instead of the three bodies, we say, okay, five sheets. That real self is covered by the five sheets. Here I have to give another metaphor. That is how the science works. That is how every branch of knowledge works. What is that metaphor? There is a lamp, electric lamp, connected to the electricity, and that is lying in a box. And over the small box, there is a big box that is covered. And that big box is lying in a dark room. And I ask you to go and get me the lamp. Pay attention. Understand it clearly. You have to contemplate and reflect on this metaphor again and again. There is a lamp connected to the electricity, and it is full of light. But now it is covered with a one box, and the second box totally covers. It is lying in a room, and the room is dark. I ask you to get me that lamp. You go there, you say, "Oh, room is full of darkness." Oh, use the torch. Take a candle. So you take a candle, you see the box. Pay attention. We are going there. So you see the box, you open the first cover, you open the second cover. The moment you open the second cover, you see the flash of light in the entire room. Do you need a candle? That is the journey of the real self. In the beginning, we have to take help of this teacher, we have to take help of the knowledge, and once you reach there, everything lightens up in the presence of that real self you don't need. That is why we explain, oh, you are suffering, you have a fear of the birth and death, the outermost cover, outermost box. Second box, energy, hunger and thirst. Third box, you find of sorrow and happiness. Fourth box, you find of attachment and detachment, plus ego. And the fifth one is the ego. So, unless we uncover all these five boxes, we cannot find the list. Are you getting it? Say yes. So, that is why you may think that the process is very intricate. No process. The process is very simple. Process is very simple. I again give you, I'm using day to day metaphors. You are 50 miles away from your house. You know your house. You have a faith. So you start driving. You know you are approaching to your house or you are not. GPS says now 20 miles is left. So you know it. You know which street to follow, which highway to follow. We have these, the same thing. No, no, let me take first, solve my fear of birth and death. So we say, come on, understand this physical body. Are you the physical body? You have been claiming that I am the physical body, but you are not. Negate it. No, no, okay, you are right. What about hunger and thirst? That hunger and thirst belongs to the second layer. That is your energy, that is the life force. Okay, solve the problem of my pain and pleasure, sorrow and happiness that occurs in the mind. Understand sometime what we like gives me the pleasure, what I dislike gives me the pain. And now mind follows the opposite. What we used to dislike, now we like, so it gives me the pleasure. Understand that. Masters are very clear. Question is, am I clear? So the mind says sorrow and happiness again are the properties of the mind. Hunger and thirst are the properties of this energy, which is known as the life force. And the birth and death is caused due to my ignorance that I am the body. As long as I claim. So, false self consists of not only these layers, but also the properties, and those properties created a habit and impulsive nature. So, if I drop everything, so I understand I have to drop those attributes of a particular layer. If I don't drop it, it will not happen. Yesterday, I was giving a lesson, and this younger generation is more intelligent. He told me that I had three events couple of years ago. Three, what are those events? Events of love life. And every time I got frustrated. So you see, sir, after 4 years, I entered into the fourth event and I got totally frustrated. What should I do? I said, understand. So, do you mean that I should leave all the sensual pleasure? I said, you are jumping too high. First, understand what exactly is the sensual pleasure, from where it is related. Is it related to the first layer? Second, no, she does not understand me. Now you see, mind, intellect, intellect likes and dislikes. So that is why we have to understand these metaphors. Just take it that these are metaphor. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean? You are talking of the knowledge, but I have an experience, I have a feeling. So, experience and feeling are the same. So I asked them to analyze, observe whether your experience and feeling are right, or all your experiences are feeling are always right. He said, yes. He said, what about mirage water? That is your feeling and experience. Don't you feel that? Yes, I feel. When you are driving your car, you see the trees are moving away from you. Is it not your feeling? Don't you experience? Is it a fact that trees are moving away from you when you are driving a car? Does any tree move the moment you drive? You see, I'm summarizing in a very lighter manner. But if you start thinking in that way, you will discover that it is very easy to understand what is real self, what is false self. So I asked him that, do you really understand that experience and feeling does not lead you to the right knowledge? Yes, I agree. So why you are insisting upon your experience and feeling? Why don't you analyze? Why don't you become aware? And the moment you become aware, you are negating it. You are negating it. So these are the five sheets. First, we have a problem of birth and the death that does not leave our mind so easily. Unless we understand clearly, it is the physical body, it is made up of the matter. Matter is inert. I am consciousness. So, inert matter and the consciousness cannot go together. I cannot be the body. Hunger and thirst, it pertains to, relate, associated with the body. Hunger and thirst. Third level, sorrow and happiness. So I have to understand what exactly is this sorrow and happiness. If I don't understand, then you cheated me. I'm worthy of suffering. But why you cheated me, I don't understand. Take it easy. Don't be so serious. Sorrow and happiness. Then the fourth one, the intellect chooses. So this young guy, he told me, don't you understand that I like her? So I told him that I have not seen her. How can I know that you like her or not? Don't you believe me? I said, I believe you. But why don't you believe? I give you with a specific reason. Your experience of mirage water is true or false? He said false. Is your experience of sensual pleasure with that person is true or false? No, you are saying right, but what happens? But what should I do with the feeling and my emotions and my experience? What you do with the feeling and experience of mirage water? What you do? The moment you understand it is false, it is already dropped. No, but I understand. I said you don't understand. It is already dropped. So every time you see the mirage water, every time you drive, you are 100% sure that the trees are not moving. It is dropped from your mind. Even your dreadful experiences, even your painful experiences are dropped in the presence of a knowledge. That is not happening. It means then don't tell me that you have understood. You have to keep me with you until you reach to that knowledge. No, I'm not leaving you. I said that is okay. I'm saying only leave that false and leave that ignorance. So the fourth level is the intellect. Intellect by default, it says, I like it. Let us go a little deeper. I like red color. Red color is red shirt. The shirt has a name and the form. Do you agree? Now show me where is the red. Red, no color has any existence without an object. Am I clear? No attribute exists without an object. And the ego says, no, I like red color. I like yellow color. And then it says, I like you. I hate you. It does not exist. So once you have a clarity of these five layers, what happens? While living your life, your mind does not invite any of these attributes, birth and death, pertaining to the physical. I know Ashok might have heard about it, but he never contemplated and reflected. I also heard from my master, but I contemplated and reflected. From which book you are giving this reference? So I picked up the book, I studied, I contemplated, then I went back to my master. I raised all the questions. So that helped me to understand it. So now you see that second level. Now we attribute of hunger and thirst. It pertains to the second covering. Third covering, pain and pleasure, sorrow and happiness. All experiences takes place in the mind, but I am not the mind. Hence, pain and pleasure do not belong to me. I have to simply negate it. Negate does, I have already explained. I'm not going to explain it again. So these five layers, then another metaphor. I'm just summarizing. What is another metaphor? When I, when we all woke up in the morning and now we are attending in a session in India, you already woke up, so it is a night. So in a waking state, I recognize the world outside. Clear? Say yes. Do you recognize the world in a sleeping state? No. Now tell me, are you do you exist in a sleeping state? Yes. Do I exist in a waking state? Yes. Is that existence, when you say I exist, are you different from a waking state or not? Are you different from a sleeping state or not? Are you different from a dream state or not? If you answer no, that I am a waker, then where is the sleeping state? I'm only a dreamer, then where is the waking and the sleeping state? Then what is common in all the sleeping state, dream state, and sleeping state? That common element is real self, that common element is pure consciousness. So we have understood what we have understood, the three bodies. After the three bodies, then we go to the five coverings. I gave a metaphor, the electric lamp. It is lit already with electricity, covered with another box. So I cannot see the light. It is lying in a dark room. And then I ask you to bring that electric bulb. You say there is a darkness in the room. But I say, no, I have left the electric bulb connected to the electricity. You say it is a darkness. So I say, okay, take it the help of a candle or a lamp. So now with that lamp, the dark room is lit. You are able to recognize the box. So with the knowledge, you are able to recognize the first physical body. And then you understand it is of the nature of birth and death, unnecessary. I'm not the body, so where is the birth and death? So then you open the second box, you open the third and the fourth and the fifth, and ultimately you find, oh, so that lamp is already lit. I see the light. I'm using another expression. I'm just summarizing everything. Oh, so when we see that that lamp does not need the help of a candle, it is already lit. The real self is self-evident, self-luminous. The way the sun does not need, the way the sun does not need a candle to see it. The same way the real self do not need anything. It is independent. So once we discover that real self, which is independent, which is not a product, which is not a property, which is not a produce of anything, it is self evident. I'm talking to you. That consciousness is self evident. You are listening. If you are not conscious, you cannot listen. Do you see that? You are not conscious, you cannot become angry over me. Just think of that. So, from where the anger comes, the mind has a disliking. So, negate that disliking, anger is gone, attachment is gone. So I was talking in this more or less the same way, but this young guy, what to do with my feeling? I thought that now I'm going to resort to the drugs. I said, okay, I don't recommend you, but if you feel that, I have no choice, I will not say anything. Why don't you get intoxicated with the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom? So, okay, then we will meet again. I said, yes, we will meet again. So the last point is, yeah, I have covered, yeah, three states, three bodies, five covering, five sheets. Seer number one, seer, knower, or we can say the witness. I see you, you see me. So who is participating? My eyes are participating. So the eyes are the seer of you guys. Your eyes are a seer to me. Just here and now. Are you getting it? Yes, I'm getting it. Now I have to see, to know anything through the mind, to know anything, there is one is a knower and the other is the known. When I say I know Terry, Terry is a known and I am the knower. I am the subject, you are the object. When you claim you are the knower, you are the subject, I am the object. Clear? So now what our master says, you have to examine if the knower, seer, does not change, that is the real knower. How simple. Go on playing, just play. So mindfulness becomes a play and fun. So eyes are the knower of the name and the form. Ears are the knower of the sound. Smell is the nose is the knower of the smell. The tongue is the knower of the taste. But I am wearing the glasses, so this knower has changed. It cannot be the real knower. Body is aging. I may not hear. So I delete it. No, you cannot be the real knower. Now see that who knows the sense organs? Mind. Can the sense organ knows the mind? No. I know the phone. Simple. I know the phone, but the phone does not know me. So the first pair of the knower and the known, where I see all my sense organs are the knowers of respective objects. But these objects do not know the sense organ. So, what is the conclusion? Conclusion to draw is that the knower cannot be known by the objects. How much you claim that you know me, you don't know me. How much I claim that I know you, I don't know you. I don't know. Whatever I know through the sense organ, through the mind, certain characters, certain attitudes, certain behavior, certain expression, that is all. But these expressions are not you. You are different from all these expressions. Are you getting it? So the second level of the mind knows all the sense organs do not know the mind. So in the first stage, the sense organ becomes the knower. It is keeps on changing. In the second stage, the mind becomes the knower of the sense organs. Now ask yourself, does the mind changes as a knower? Yes, mind always changes. You may like me today, you may dislike me tomorrow. That is what I say. I marry to be happy. I divorce to be happy. Do I experience my mind sometimes gets upset? My mind has a strong likes. My mind has a strong dislikes. It means there is someone who knows the changing state of the mind. Who knows it? Who is that? That is the real knower. That is the real self. It is here and now. It is here and now. We don't realize it. Because we don't realize it, we get carried away by 5 layers and their experiences. The first layer, birth and death. Second layer, hunger and thirst. Third layer, sorrow and happiness. Fourth layer, likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment. If not, the fifth layer is the ego. We are living our life in ignorance. To move from ignorance to wisdom is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Why I closed my eyes now, do you understand? I know all the sense organs are not the real knower, they keep on changing. So I don't want to stand as a knower with all the sense organs. How simple it is. I made it so simple. No, no, I did not made it. You made it through your awareness. Oh, okay. So we go a little deeper. When we are in a state of comfort and carefree, we receive and retain the knowledge. We are not carried away by the habits, impulses in the mind. Very good. So, being comfortable, you are settled in a comfort, you are discovering the comfort zone. You are not carried away. The mind is not making an effort to be comfortable. So you're looking at the neck joint being there, feel the sensation, comfort and steadiness. As we have done in the last session on Thursday. So, what we experience after sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I see the space and emptiness within. That within is very important. What is this within? You have changed the direction of the mind from outside to inside. What is outside? Mind is scattered in millions of directions through the five sense organs. So when you are looking inside, you find a sense of emptiness, blankness, space. Was this space not present before? Yes, it was there, but I didn't know. Why I didn't know? Ignorance. What is mindfulness? Move from the ignorance to knowledge. We are not doing anything. We are simply understanding. Now, what is the message here? Corollary. The moment your mind is stuck anywhere, it is causing pain, duality, conflict, attachment, detachment. What it means? I have to get rid of the ignorance. Don't get upset. Explore, examine. And once you explore, what is ignorance? Drop it. How to drop it? I've already told you. You need not to drop it. That is the subtle nature of the journey of mindfulness. So, looking, just do another way, another example with that examination, looking at the shoulder joints, being there, your experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Not all the experiences are true. So, we accept sensation, comfort, and steadiness at this time pertains to the body, but I have to go deeper. So now I move to the space and emptiness. Moving to the space and emptiness is negating and dropping that experience. What are you saying? Yes, I'm saying you're right. You need not to fight. Your house is 20 miles away from the point where you are, and you are driving the car, and your mind is struggling. Oh, I'm still 20 miles away. I'm still. No! The moment you have started the journey, the miles are going to be reduced. Ignorance is going to be dropped. But we have to follow the teaching of the Master. No change. So the entire body, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Very good. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Where? In the physical body. Very good. But then I experience the emptiness also. Does this emptiness is the property of the body? No, it cannot be the property of the body. Why I feel the emptiness? Because the mind has changed the direction from outside to inside. You see that I'm giving you another point. When our mind is moved outside, I would say it is scattered outside in millions of directions through the sense organ, through the inferences, through the imagination, through the fantasies. You find trillions and millions of objects. But when you move inside, your mind says only I am. But before we discover I am, we discover that sense of emptiness and the space. And we say, okay, that is good. And after the emptiness, we start discovering there are unwanted, unwelcome thoughts that enters into the mind. And now you are clear. That is layer number one. Unwanted, unwelcome because of impulses, because of habit, because of impressions, because of. I gave an example of this young guy who told me that after 3 years I repeated the same experiment without understanding. My goodness. So we will take care of that lane one little later. Become aware of the physical body. At present, there is a sensation, there is relaxation, and there is stillness. And now, in that experience of sensation, relaxation, and stillness, the mind will not bring the attributes of the body, which is birth and the death. Go even take the help of the science. Science says when I rub both my hands, more than 50,000 cells die and replaced by the new cells. What about the birth and death? Is it not a fact that when I'm speaking to you, I'm doing so called a good work? Millions of my cells are dying and replaced by the new cells. Why should I do a good work? Are you not scared of the birth and death of these cells and all the cells together labeled as the body? And then we are scared of the birth and death? How dare? You see what we are doing? Moving from ignorance to wisdom. And that is why we have the three bodies, we have the five covering, we have the three states, and all those metaphors to work on consciously in your life is the key. It is a fact that every cell has its life. And it is also a fact since our birth, every 7 years, every cell of this body has been replaced. If I'm 35, I have 5 different bodies. I died 5 times. And I'm unnecessarily scared of this fact. So once we live in that awareness, now I'm using the verse from another master, Yadi Deham Prathak Kritya. So when you experience, conscious experience of what? Every cell of the body has its life. It has died couple of times. It has been replaced by why should I be scared of birth and death? So what happens? You have a discernment with the physical body. What is discernment? I'm not the body. You had a negation. So just you are aware of the body, but that sense of clinging is not there. Then what happens? Now look at the mind. Lane one. Unwanted, unwelcome thoughts that enters into the mind pertaining to an object outside in the world. Unwanted, unwelcome, impulsive thoughts which contains an object can only be recognized when I am the body. I am the body. I'm sitting here. Then mind says I'm a teacher. You are sitting there. But who is sitting there? Body. Oh, then you are students. You are seekers. So in a transactional world, we will continue. But internally, we know. So lane one, go a little deeper. Pick up any unwanted and welcome thoughts, bring it to the lane number two, and examine what object contains the thought. I like you, for example. So you is an object. So the intellect is examining. Oh, liking makes me happy. Disliking makes me unhappy. And the mind calms down. So we start with the intellect, with the likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment. So we negate every thought which claims I'm worthy of suffering, which claims sorrow and happiness, which claims birth and death, which claims hunger and thirst, which claims attachment and detachment, which claims I'm always right. Why I said so? Lane number one, invite all the thoughts pertaining to these five layers we don't recognize. That is why I gave an example of this young guy. No, no, you are talking to me. Are we doing something? That is the hypnotic mind. That challenge is what I am saying. That is the ego. Ego mind, so no, let me do it. Let me relax. You're already relaxed. So that is the fifth layer. You are listening and moving into the knowledge by negating. I like it or I dislike it. I read like yet red color or yellow color. No, no, I'm totally discomfort in the body. You can pick up any thought that has an object pertaining to birth and death, pertaining to hunger and thirst. You know, you can use the synonyms. of the hunger and thirst. It pertains to the sorrow and happiness. It pertains to the attachment and detachment. It pertains to the ego. You give me any thought which is devoid of. So now we are going into a subtler examination. Now I am stressed. Stress is there in the mind. The mind has a stress. Due to ignorance, I claim I am in stress. I'm just saying that you say to yourself and see what happens. So you are negating, I am not in stress, the mind is in stress. And mind is an instrument. So that nowhere, that lamp hidden in the box remains self evident, and you are already in the state of mindfulness. We are not doing anything, it's a non practice. Our subtle, the fifth layer, comes out, out of the ignorance. After all, I'm listening to you. After all, my eyes are closed. After all, I'm doing something. You don't know who you are. How can you claim that you're doing something? Do you see the ignorance? Can you see it? You don't know. I have a dreadful experience with this girl yesterday. Now, first examine who am I? And when you go on examining I, that I do not exist. So that examination is negating it. That is what the Buddha says, emptiness and nothingness. But we have to transcend that nothingness. Out of that nothingness reveals our true nature. Now understand another point. The mind by default always likes to do something. It wants to remain as a doer. Can you recognize? Simply recognize. What is recognition? Cognitive ability. And don't support it. That is the highest level of negation. Then only we can realize the true knower that never changes lives behind the mind. Otherwise, the mind always, whether you say mind or intellect or ego, it always wants to do something. Why? So that I can recognize that I am a doer. After all, I exist. I want to exist by doing something, by enjoying something, by feeling pain, by feeling sorrow, by feeling pleasure. You'll be surprised. So you are aware. Who is aware? Aware is aware. Because I'm conscious, hence I'm consciousness. Mind will say you are making the thing complex. Who says this? Mind. Why it says it wants to be a doer. Like this young guy who wants to go for another experiment. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Very good. Uh, there was a lot in that. Uh, so, metaphorically speaking, the candle represents the
Real.
knowledge the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom,
Yeah.
and just putting that to the side and understanding that the existence, consciousness, bliss is the real self.
Is the real
and,
self.
and so therefore we're going to utilize that candle to be able to negate
Yeah.
everything that is not the real self.
That is not the real. You're right.
And therefore, regardless of the tools and the sheaths and the physical, the causal, the subtle, and all that other stuff, it's just to use the candle to negate all that stuff, so that we understand that the real self is always there, existence is always there, the consciousness is there, the bliss is there. We just need to get all the other stuff out of the way.
Until we find the candle is also useless. What is that candle? Mind and the intellect.
Exactly. So through my meditation, I just oscillated between lanes 2 and 3, and just took on the knowledge and just drifted, and nothing bothering. It was all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, nothing. Yeah, that's another point. Nothing is bothering. Once we understand, we have to repeat it again and again and again. Otherwise, what will happen? We become the same young man which I had a session yesterday. so, so that is a wonderful narration. How are you, David and Jerry?
Good morning. Thank you. I always find Saturday very practical. It's kind of like a pause during our journey to kind of just reflect and whatnot. And for me today, it was very, very powerful to understand that the mind is always thinking, always doing, and
Yeah,
just taking it, just that's so. Just let it be so. And that allowed me to just kind of step back and spend a lot of time in lane 2 and 3 because I just let it go. I wasn't attached to it. I just let it go do its thinking without any kind of criticism, without anything.
yeah,
And it went away.
that's a beautiful. The moment it went away means the mind, or you can say ego or the intellect, always likes to adopt a role of a doer, either to be an enjoyer or a feeler, so that I can think that I exist. I exist without even any feeling, any thought, any issue. That realization is ultimately taking us to know what Stephen says existence, consciousness, and bliss. And yes, definitely Saturday session. That's why we combine Monday, Thursday, and Saturday session. Thank you, David. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Um, yeah, I don't know how I want to sum up the experience. I guess I think that just really being clear with the mind creates the suffering, and the mind also creates the
Yeah.
joy, the peace, the pleasure. And so knowing that, we just know that we don't want, and you don't need to want, desire, want to get rid of any of that. Just forget about it. Just negate it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that either. You just have to be. Just be. Just be your
Just
existence.
be.
Be the light. Just be what you are. And then you're perfect.
Yes, yes, I would take from you just be. That is another definition of to negate it. Why the masters use the word negation? If I become the doer in negating, this doer will not go. And that doer is the ego. Beautiful. Thank you. How are you, Sam?
Good. Really appreciated the metaphor today. And today was a little bit different for me during the meditation. I felt a rise in energy
Yeah,
as opposed to Saturday. Sometimes I feel a little bit drowsy during.
you are right. Energy that is already being utilized or misutilized by the mind in ignorance with birth and with the idea of birth and death, with the idea of hunger and thirst, with the idea of pain and pleasure, with the idea of attachment and it has no, it has does not have enough energy to feel that I'm really good. We are always good. Yes, that's a good thing. And Terry is looking very with an eye of surprise. So how are you, Terry? You are always good.
No, I'm good. I'm not surprised. I'm just very tired because I didn't sleep last night. But I was just in the,
Who did not sleep last night?
well, I was awake and I got up many times and walked around.
Yes, it
So
will.
I,
It will take some time. We discussed and examined, Terry, that I am not a waker, I am not a sleeper, I am not a dreamer.
Yeah.
It will,
But me
but
and my body just got up and walked around instead of sleeping. So now everything seems very simple to me.
yes,
I'm just there, and
negate an idea that you did not sleep last night. Then you don't have a thought that I feel drowsy because I did not sleep last night.
okay. Certainly during the night, I negated the idea that I needed to sleep.
I needed to sleep. Yes, you got it. You got
Because I didn't.
it. Yes,
Nobody, me, my body,
yes,
any aspect. We
you
did,
got it. And you had a laugh also. That proves that you got it. How
yeah.
are you, Brandy? I don't see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm having problems with my camera. It's blinking. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here. I appreciated your example of the person you had a session with yesterday because without judgment, sometimes it's easier to look at how somebody goes chasing after things to recognize how I go chasing after things. Like, oh yeah, I get it. And but it also helps me go a little bit deeper because it's sometimes like what's not my own stuff is just a little bit easier to see.
Beautiful. You know, this young guy yesterday, what to do with the feeling and experience. I understand what you say. I told him, you don't understand. But to say it upright that you don't understand, we need a good relationship. He has been with me for a couple of months, and then only I can say. If you say straight away, no, you don't understand. So they will say, hell with you if you don't understand. I've been understanding myself for this last so many years. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm calm. Uh, just watching the mind and just letting that how the mind tricks and just keeping my awareness to that and being peaceful.
Being
Good.
peace. Beautiful. That's another way to put. Did you see that? Just watching, just being a witness, just being a witness, the final knower that never changes. And that is what the Stephen repeated. It is existence, consciousness, and bliss. We are always there. Beautiful. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I'm good. It was very deep meditation. I was absorbed in this emptiness, listening to your voice instructions. So, and I got frozen. I think my body feels really cold. And I've been contemplating a lot, and my mind came up with a lot of questions like, am I really existing? Or because my body, it's just appears to be true.
Mind is
And
bluffing you.
What?
Mind is bluffing you when you ask this question, am I really existing? So you have to ask the question, who is asking this question?
Mind.
But what question it is asking? Because if without existence, you cannot ask the question. So it is already proved that you exist.
Yeah, my mind plays with me
Yes,
these days.
that needs to be understood. I say, no, I have to ask, I think, therefore I am. That does not prove here. Everyone can disprove this. I exist, therefore I think. Out of the thinking, I'm asking the question. So thinking comes much later than my existence. So mind, calm down. No more questions. I exist. Let me discover the existence. Let me discover the real self. Where are you, Ashok?
I am here, sir. Namaste, sir.
Oh, you are here. Very good.
It was much more clear today, sir. And during the daytime, I also push my mind to the japa. Then
Good.
it becomes more aware, brings more awareness.
Very good. Very good.
Clarity is coming more and more nowadays.
Nowadays, because you are with me.
Thank you.
Very good. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Namaste,
sir.
everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste,
Thank you.
everyone.
Namaste.